Hello everybody, back today with another vintage battery powered clock. Today I have a Seth Thomas model Country Pine. And it is working, but it needs some cleanup and polish. Minute hand's a little bit bent, see if I can straighten that out. And here's the back. It appears it's been in a greasy kitchen, so it's running. It's got one of those Isotron 101 movements. Not sure the date of this, but 2379 Country Pine, model 2379-000. So I'm going to disassemble and give this a good cleanup and polish, and then put it in service. This one's going to go in the dining room, so it should look pretty nice in there. Take the old battery out. This is a C-cell battery operated clock. Now to take the hands off. Clean and polish them. See, there's dust right there. Just get all that cleaned up. That comes off pretty easily, and plenty of dust behind there. Put all that away and out where it won't get damaged. 3/8 looks like. To remove that nut to take out the mechanism. I'll give the mechanism a quick shot of cleaner and oil it. It should just wiggle out. There it goes. There's the washer. Go ahead and move that out the way. And there's the movement. Now to get this cleaned up. Got a ridiculously oversized brush to get the loose dust off of it. I'm sure a little bit of grime has gotten inside that mechanism, so we'll take these screws off next. One here. Let's get an appropriate size screwdriver. There, that's better. One screw. Two screws. Set those up. It doesn't look too bad. I've got my clock cleaner. I beg my pardon, my super clock cleaner. And I'm just going to give this a quick squirt on the metal gears. Let's get this out of the way. Maybe I can show that. Maybe there'll be some satisfying dirt come out of this thing. Not too bad. A little bit. But that's not horribly bad. And then I'll get my clock lubricant. And I will proceed to lubricate the clock movement. Let's zoom in on that. That's a pretty good picture. And I'll just come in here and put a drop of oil on all these bushings. Maybe a little right there. Couldn't hurt anything. It's like a spot. Got a little bit wild on that one. And then turn it over and do the same thing. Clean the excess off. And that should be lubricated. That seems to move quite freely. How about I put the battery in it and make sure the thing still runs. I have a knack of making things worse than they were. That one still runs, so that's a good thing. Well, now let's get the LA's Totally Awesome going and give this movement a good cleanup. I'm going to spray it on the towel, and then I'm just going to go through and get all that old kitchen grease off. And now you can see all the innards nice and clear. That looks pretty good. Put the battery back in it again. Usually pull that out and it should be off. Sometimes have to do that. But it's off and running. Hear the ticking. Guess I could work on that where the hands attach. That's a little bit on the dirty side. Perfect. This is a non-second hand movement, so I'll just let that run on the bench for a little while. I'm going to turn my attention to the actual clock face and the frame. First I'm going to get in here, clean this up, and up top. The back plate off and really polish on it. Maybe coming out. Oh yeah, can really get in here and clean this. See, you can almost see how much it's yellowed. Camera may or may not pick that up, but I'm going to test a small area with some LAs and see what happens. Looks like that's going to work. I'm just going to go to town on it now. It's got that old kitchen grease on it. Let that can agitate it a little bit. Get that off fast because it's going to take the color off if I don't. I can see it working that black paint off just a little bit. So the LAs must be mixed a tad too strong for this application, but I made it all right. That brown spot off of there. I don't think that one's going to matter. It should be hidden by the frame. But this one here, I'd like to get that one off. And there it goes. What I'll do next is I'll novice this thing. We'll go ahead with some number 2. And hopefully that number 1 will show up. Get the shine back on this thing. That polished out even more dirt. Looking even better. It's shining right on up now. Novus number 2 did a fine job. There it is. Got a good shine to it. Kind of a semi-gloss. Well, unfortunately, the Novus number 1 has taken a vacation or something, so I'm gonna move on to getting these hands cleaned up. There's the dirt I've gotten off just this minute hand. This thing was pretty greasy. And I got the minute hand, the tip straightened out. I just eyeballed it and bent it back straight. That looks pretty good. And the minute hand is ready. Looking good. Might be about that time to start working on the frame. Got everything else done. Here's what the frame looks like. Looks to be in good shape. I am going to take some of this Old English scratch cover and go over it first to hide any imperfections. Pretty good stuff. Just that alone makes it look pretty good. I've had this same bottle for years and used it on various projects. It's really bringing out the wood grain now. Stuff doesn't smell too good, but it seems to work all right. And there's that piece. Much better. Now that that's done, I'll get my Santa wax. This is some pretty darn good stuff here. And I can really give it a good cleaning and polishing. It's looking much better. Heck yeah. That will be great. Looks like brand new. And I will put that movement back in. Cleaned up, it snaps right back in place. No problem. And of course, I can't leave that alone. I've got my silversmith's polish. And I'm going to give that a little shine. Certainly. There, that's got a nice shine to it. Alright, that's polished up, looking good. Put that back together. Just snug. And there's that. Now time to put the freshly polished and cleaned hands on. Time is 8:30. That's right on the dot. Minute hand. It's a square shaft, so that works out pretty handy. And then the nut, which I could clean on that just a little bit. That looks wonderful. And now I can start the testing to see if I need to move it faster or slower. There's the completed clock. Alright, here's a look at the front. Turned out pretty slick. And there's the back with the mechanism all cleaned up and looking good. I'll see how all this keeps time now. And then I will hang it up in the dining room. And here is where this Seth Thomas clock lives, in the dining room. I even have a catalog that features this clock right there. It's a Country Pine. This is a 1974 Seth Thomas catalog right here. So this dates to approximately 1974 confirmed. And I thought this looked familiar. And I went through the house. Yes, we have this type of frame in 2 other places in the house. Let's go take a look at those right quick. First spot is this goose picture thing, decorative thing. It's got that type of frame. And here is the other one. So I saw that clock for sale. I said, that looks familiar. And that is confirmed. We have that type of frame now in 3 parts of the house. Once again, the freshly refurbished Seth Thomas vintage C-cell clock, non-quartz. Thank you for watching.